Captain Kirk and Jonathan Kent are off to Russia to stop a Russian Henry V from destroying Wall Street. Sadly, it's not as awesome as it sounds. So Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, is a reboot of the Jack Ryan film series, which is based off the character of the same name from the late Tom Clancy. This movie stars Chris Pine in the role of Jack Ryan as he discovers a Russian plot to basically crash Wall Street with a terrorist attack so that Russia will end up becoming the world's most powerful economy. Now, I have not seen any other movies in this Jack Ryan series. I wasn't even aware of who Jack Ryan was until this movie came out. And after doing research to prep for this review, the other movies that apparently are in this series are Hunt for the Red October, in which Alec Baldwin was Jack Ryan. This was before his 30 Rock days, before he was funny. Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger, which was when Jack Ryan was played by Harrison Ford. And then The Sum of All Fears, which Jack Ryan was played by the now Batman, Ben Affleck. So this movie had the job of introducing somebody like me to this character and really show me what this character is about and if he's anything special from other thrillers of this type. And unfortunately, this movie didn't impress me so much. But surprisingly, this movie's technically not bad, and I'm surprised by that because January and February are the months I consider to be when Hollywood just dumps out the worst shit. It's like, okay, beginning of the year, let's dump off all our shit. But again, this movie's not spectacular. It felt too much like watching a Bourne movie that didn't have any of the great things that made the Bourne movies, at least the first one, as good as they were. The action is not all that good. Sometimes it's just shot up too close, which this is directed by Kenneth Branagh, who directed Thor, which Thor had really good action scenes, so I figured, okay, there were a few action scenes in Thor that were kind of choppy in the way they filmed and edited, so maybe Jack Ryan is his time to really fix the issues that he had in Thor, but apparently that's not the case, at least with the first few action scenes. There are scenes here that drastically slow the movie down, to the point where it kind of had me confused about what was going on. And honestly, if you'd cut those scenes out of the movie, nobody would have noticed that scenes were missing. And then Kevin Costner is in the movie, who pretty much plays Jack's mentor, and he's pretty bland. No real surprise there, although the big surprise is that he is not as bland as Kenneth Branagh. Not as the director, but he's in the movie playing the villain, and he's so generic, bland, that Kevin Costner was acting circles around somebody for once. And there were a few points where Kenneth Branagh's character was sometimes unintentionally funny. Like the first time he speaks English in his Russian accent, the guy sitting on the other side of the movie theater was laughing hard, which that had me laughing, but other than that, he's not that good in the movie. Neither is Kevin Costner. Now, there are a few parts of the movie that I did like, and I'll go over them really briefly. As much as I didn't like the first few action scenes, the last two big action scenes of the movie were actually pretty fun to watch and were intense a bit. And I liked Chris Pine in the role as Jack Ryan, almost said Jack Reacher, as Jack Ryan. And I thought Keira Knightley did a good job also, although there were a few points in the movie where her natural British voice was sticking out of her American accent. Which is fine, but even though I didn't really care for the two characters, didn't really care what happened to them, I thought they did a good job. So again, it's not bad, it just suffers from too much of, oh, been there, done that, mainly when you watch this in comparison to the Bourne movies. This is the kind of movie that I suggest you watch at your own risk. It's the kind of movie you either catch when you're flipping through channels at home, watch for a bit, move on to another channel, or it's the kind of movie if you're bored, it happens to be on Netflix, go ahead and watch it. You probably won't be disappointed. But I don't think it's really worth seeing in the theater. And honestly, I'm happy that I got this review out quick because I started to really forget this movie. So just watch at your own risk. And that's my review for Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie, subscribe to my channel for more stuff in the future. You can check out my other channel, AlexG8462. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462. Follow me on Instagram at TheRealMrRobinson. Go like my Facebook page also, /TheCinemasMrRobinson. Share me with your friends and tell them about me, and remember to know it before you see it. This has been The Cinemas Mr. Robinson, and I'll see you guys later.